welcome to our Firespiral Friday Roundup. I'm Jen. This week we've published our base size calculator. That's now on our website for you to use. If you've never heard of base size before, very quickly, it is a method of standardisation. There's lots of different lengths of wraps, usually size 2 to 9, and there's lots of different carries, and each of those require more or less length. But because each of us have different size bodies and different wrapping techniques and different size babies, we won't all use the same length of wrap to do the same carry. So by creating the base system, we have a standardised method for saying if you need a size 6 to do this carry, then you will need a size 4 to do that carry. If this is your base, then this carry requires a base -2 or a base +2. And so you and I may have very different base sizes, and we can then share carries between us and say, oh, I need a wrap that is 3 times smaller than my base, and you can pick your wrap, I pick my wrap, and it works. But finding out your base size can be a bit tricky, but it's a little bit trial and error. The calculator is a good place to start, and it's a great place to send brand new wrappers. So that's that. Next, our new Cirrus weave wraps, the Water Witch and the Sleepy Dust, are ready. We've sent out pre-orders, and these will be in our shop next Tuesday, from next Tuesday. Loyalty Club members have already been given the chance to start ordering theirs, and the rest of them will be in the shop on Tuesday. So that is something to look out for. The other thing we're starting to put in the shop is some blanket pre-orders. So I think we have 3 or 4 that are designs that are ready to pre-order now, and will be ready in maybe 3 months' time. We ask for a £20 deposit now. Once they're ready, you pay the balance and we send you your blanket. So there's a Water Witch Murmuration, and I should have written them down because I can't remember the others. Oh, there's one that is a sort of sunset grad against the winter tree design, midwinter. And there's others. You'll have to go look on the shop and see what we've got. The other pre-order that we haven't discussed with anyone yet, but this will go in as well. It's going to be our Nocturne design. It's going to be a king size blanket, and we're going to go for a sort of obsidian. It's an almost black, but it has some sort of grey fibres in there to just lighten it, make it not too dull and flat like my jumper that's just too black. And it will be paired with an alternating sort of very pale cream and this mild grey, and so it'll be sort of black and silver Nocturne. That will be available to pre-order too. And oh yes, the other thing I was going to tell you is that this week we have been working on getting our next weave ready. We've been mostly sorting out weft yarns really, because we've already put the plan in with the mill, and the warp is going to be, if I can get the colour right, it's going to be this sort of teal greeny bluey colour. It's going to be brighter than the Glasto, but in that area. And one thing we know is that on a colour swatch like this, the warp tends to look different than it does when it's woven up, especially when it's woven up against light colours. So there's four different wraps being woven on that, plus some scarves, some proper half width so that you get the full design scarves. And one of the things that we're going to reweave due to popular demand on that is the Bifrost Star Map, because we've just had message after message asking for this, and we don't tend to reweave just because we work in such small quantities, and every time we put a coloured warp onto the beam, it's a massive outlay. We've got to get a whole warp dyed, and there's got to be enough cloth to do lots of different designs. So we're committed to doing lots of designs with that warp colour. So we're going to have 4 designs all with this same sort of tealy warp colour. But this one, so many people have said, could we reweave it? We thought, do you know what, it's a nice one to have as a standard, but we don't have a navy blue warp going on. So what we're going to do is weave this on that teal. Now this is synergy weave cloth, and so that is, the blue is a weft and the rainbow is a weft, and they interlace around a hidden warp. But if you've ever seen our other synergy weave wraps, quite often if we use a contrasting hidden warp, because it sort of peeks through, it sparkles, and that's what creates that iridescence, that's what creates the colour shimmer in Australis and Wilderswood, where all of a sudden the warp that's hidden inside, as the cloth moves, it kind of flashes through and it creates this lovely mixture of colour. Now on this, the hidden warp is exactly the same colour as this navy weft, so you don't really notice it, it just strengthens it, strengthens the colour. But the next warp will be this teal colour woven with this blue and the rainbow on the outside, and that is going to create a look that's very similar to this, but we're not quite sure to what extent the teal will either blend with the blue to just become a dark colour that looks fairly similar to this, or whether that will also have a sort of more of a presence in the cloth. Maybe it'll make it look like a darker, more tealy turquoisey green. We don't know, but we're going to have a go, because something about it says, yeah, it'll be beautiful. Even if it doesn't look exactly like this cloth, it will be beautiful. We hope. Yes, so that's that. And I don't know what else. It feels like a really busy week, because this has been the first week that all the children are back, and I've just opened my diary and been crashing through all the stuff that for months I've been going, oh, I'll have to wait, I can't concentrate on that. So I just have lists and lists of things to do, but I don't think there's anything that you really need to know that would be fascinating, to be honest. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it there then, shall we? Right, have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you next week.